that movie. And this knife is supposed to be a survival knife, and designed to be used by people who would want to actually uh, survive the outdoors or survive in the woods, things like that. Right. But the question now is, for our session, would you like to do that? Would you like to turn away from the system and live off grid? Or better yet, do you believe in the electoral system? Do you believe in elections still? Or better yet, do you believe in the system? Right? This is Hagbayon channel. I'm your host, Jason Chancoco. I am a college instructor, entrepreneur, writer, rock musician or guitarist, martial arts enthusiast, uh, blade builder, blades researcher, um, prepper, and survivalist. In theory, I think. Or I am a fan, or I am a believer of survivalism as an ideology. Recently, there has been some issue with my uh, YouTube channel because um, my schedule, right? Another glitch. Sorry about that. As I have been saying, there was an issue with my YouTube channel, or maybe with YouTube, uh, because my scheduled videos have been coming out on schedule, but with the date of upload as late, and that's not good because it would seem like I am not uploading something new. Even if this channel is just a small YouTube channel, a small space where I just hang out and try to uh, share my hobbies and my interests. But I still work on this channel. I work hard. It's tough to maintain a vlog, as you know. So sometimes we are also a bit affected when YouTube would have some changes in policies and in in administration of the vlog. Now going back, do you still believe in the system or in the electoral system? By the way, Pinoy Prepper is here. He just let's acknowledge the presence of Pinoy Prepper, a friend, a fellow YouTuber who is based in the US. Hi there, bro. So, do you still believe in the system or in the electoral system? Um, there was a friend of mine who said yesterday, I think, uh, that kahit sino pang umupo, it would just be the same because kahit sino pa ang umupo, isa lang naman ang susundin nila. So, pare-pareho lang yan. So, that friend of mine is also a prepper in philosophy and a believer in off-grid lifestyle. So, her name is my friend Angelica, or Jack. I hope uh, she can join me in my future episodes. So she was saying, uh, whoever wins the election, it won't make an impact or a change because people or our leaders would be following the same system anyway. So why sweat it? So why bother? Now the question now is, what is the system? So let's talk about it, guys. What is the system? By the way, this video is being recorded live, and maybe you will catch this video later after recording it, and you're still free to comment, you know, like, subscribe, etc. This is just a small YouTube channel, Hagbayon, and there are lots of channels out there that are, way better than this channel and with better content. This is we have very limited content here, and if you check my channel, uh, if you check my videos, you'll see that obviously there are other channels that are way better. So but then if you join me, thank you. So let's talk about the system. What do you think of the system? What is the system? So I think to better understand the system, we should do an experiment. Why don't we go into an off-grid living experiment? So why don't we do that? So try it for say 1 week or 2 weeks. Uh, Go somewhere secluded. Better if it's your land or if it's your relative's land, or you are actually allowed or permitted to occupy it. And in that 1 or 2 weeks, try to live off the land. Okay, have self-grown food. Okay, don't go out. I mean, don't go to the city for 2 weeks or a week for these natural healing methods. And for your shelter tools, try to use indigenous knowledge or technology. By the way, the proper way pala to pronounce indigenous is not indigenous as in Inday Sara. No, it's indigenous, as pointed out by a writer friend of mine. Indigenous technology. So yeah, try it and try this so-called off-grid living experiment. So to better understand what the system is, because if you do said experiment, you'll be able to see, and distinguish the idea of the state versus the individual. Okay, you'll be able to distinguish the idea of the state versus you as an individual. Of course, you as an individual, you are born, etc. You may care about the law or you may not, but there you have to survive, you have to live, you have to exist. Um, as an individual, you will have a family or maybe friends, or you may be alone. Now, if you go off grid living, okay, as an experiment, as an individual, you will realize that instead of being with other people, you know, you may be solo. Maybe you're solo, or you may be with your family or with chosen friends. Okay, and these friends of yours may be the same gender lang, the same gender, no female and male LGBT somewhat uh, dichotomy, whatever. Or in fact, out there in the system, okay, you'll be with the general population, not just your family or your friends will interact with the general population, male, female. Okay, and while living off grid during the experiment, you might realize that you're just in your bug out location. Okay, and that's your territory and maybe the surrounding areas. When in fact, if you think about it, out there in the real world, uh, you are bound by you as a citizen. You're bound by your territory. You have your passport, etc. And if you want to go to another country, you might need to have a visa, right? But as an individual who is living off grid without a care in the world, without a care about the system, just in your BOL, you're unbound. Maybe unbound by some, uh, practical considerations, distance, etc., danger. But you're more or less, free to roam around. Of course, we have right to travel in the real world, but as we said, you're bound by your citizenship and territory. Imagine if there's no, idea of a state. We're all stateless and without citizenship. So there. That's the difference when you're living off grid. You're a miniature world, your own world. And of course, you live without a care in the world, as I said, and you have your perimeter rules only. No government rules, no laws. Perhaps your own rules lang sa grupo, perimeter rules. Do you pay taxes? Take the living off-grid experiment seriously. Will you need money? No, because you'll be, self-sufficient. You'll be growing your own food, growing your own medicines, doing DIY, building your own tools in your homes. So there, no need for currency, no need for pharmacies, no need for factories anyway. So there, that's how you appreciate the distinction and difference between the state and the individual, because the state is practically it's a community of persons, more or less numerous, occupying a particular territory and giving habitual allegiance to a particular government. That's Judge Malcolm's definition of state. So if you are off grid, so meron bang population? Yeah, but you're more or less, maybe you'll be alone with just your family, with your friends. When we talk of state, the population must be numerous, more or less numerous, and of two genders, the male and the female. But if you are in your BOL, for example, it's just a camping for the boys with your friends, all girls or all boys, etc. There was even an YouTube channel. All right, we have another glitch. So there, as I was saying, there's even a YouTube channel where there's two young ladies living with their mother, off grid, self-sufficient. So is that a kind of a population defined in this, as per the definition of the state? No, because population must be composed of two genders when we talk of the state. Now we think of the state as, comparing it with the computer system, as the operating system, maybe Linux, maybe Microsoft. While the government, or the form of government, could be the application or the app, could be Microsoft Office, etc. While the administration is there. Another glitch, because the state is different from the government, and government is different from the administration, although they're related or they're distinct. The state is distinct. There. internet problem. You see, the government is more, no, the administration is more or less temporary. For example, the administration of Duterte, it's actually temporary. We will have another president or another administration. The government is, the form of government. It could be Republican, you know, democratic, something like that. It could be democratic, something like that. It could be parliamentary. So it's wrong to think that the state is the government. No, because the state, the people occupying, okay, giving allegiance to a particular is the state. So therefore, if the people direct, state action, takes the power back from the government, the people can actually do that by direct there. Call that direct state action, as we said. So there, after the Offgrid Living Experiment, what do? You introspect, you reflect, you versus the state. So it's a question between overdependence versus self-sufficiency. You see, there would not be a system or a set of laws if there's no need for said system or set of laws. Humans became political animals and later developed these systems and laws because it seemed to be that there was a need for. We could criticize it, we could, even change it, but apparently it's part of human nature to have some sort of a system or direction or some sort of law. The question is whether or not you will be what, over dependent on said system or law to the detriment of your personal individual right, congenital right as a person. It's true that the state has congenital rights, but more so a person. A person also has congenital rights. A natural person also has natural rights. So, independence versus self-sufficiency. That is a question. All right. Jason here for the Hagbayon channel. This is a channel devoted to current events, literatures. Let me show you that ultimate survival knife again is giant tracker. I'm gonna be working on this more so that this will have a kind of a scabbard or a sheath. So there, prepping and some topics on survivalism. Remember, the pen is mightier with the sword. Thanks for watching.